Alright everyone, so I ended up fixing the transmission off camera. We were back here at Test and Tune again, and there's quite a few people here, but I am still missing something. I am missing reverse. So no trans brake launches, this is all going to be foot brake. I took the transmission apart and replaced the reverse clutches, which didn't look that bad, but I think the reverse band in the back of the transmission is broken. I didn't go that far into it. So no reverse for this guy, but I have first, second, and third, and I changed the spark plugs and everything seems to be running good. So let's see how today goes foot braking it. All right, so somebody broke a drive shaft. They're doing some track prep and cleanup right now. My first run, I'm gonna foot brake it in first gear. And then since I don't have a trans brake, I'm going to test out some second gear launches today and see how I can stall up and hook in second gear since I don't have a trans brake anyways. So we'll see how it goes. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so as you may or may not be able to see all that transmission fluid, blew the fucking pump seal out again. Except this time, I did it sitting right there. There's no oil track, there's nothing coming back up here. It did it while I was sitting still. I was revving the motor up and trying to figure out why it's breaking up. Went to put it in gear and it didn't go anywhere. Boom, blew the fucking seal out again. So I don't know what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to pin the seal in or something, but I gotta get this thing home and figure out what the hell's going on with it. It's breaking up real bad. It's not happy, so I've got some work to do. All right, I'm trying to save you all the boredom of me pulling this transmission out, but there's a seal. Actually came out still all the way down on the torque converter. Blown right out. Got it out. I actually stopped and pressure washed the underside of the car. I need to hit it with some degreaser and do it again, but it got a lot of the oil and stuff off the transmission. But I've got a plan to hold this in there already. I've tested it on the extra pump housing that I had, and it worked perfect. So my plan is, you can see, I've tapped that hole. I'm gonna do one here, one straight across, then one here, and probably one here, or however I decide to do it, somewhere in that sequence. And then I've got little bolts and washers, and I read online that somebody did this and it worked for them. So that's what I'm gonna do. This transmission's got really high line pressure because of the valve body that's in it. There's not really much I can do about that. And from what I've read online, that's probably what's causing this to pop out, because of that feed right there. And that's to oil the thing, the whatever it's called in here for the torque converter. And it's just building up too much pressure and poof, popping that out. So I'm going to pin it in and hope that that solves the problem here. I've got to tear the whole thing apart to get to the rear reverse band. So once I get there and figure out what's going on in reverse, I'll get back and update you. Let me show y'all what frustration looks like, okay? Sorry, the camera's a little foggy. I'm covered in transmission fluid. Everything here, okay. Reverse piston, fine. Reverse band, absolutely fine. Clutches, good. Come on over here, trying to follow the reverse circuit. I pulled this gasket off, set it to the side, didn't even look at it. Gasket's blown out. I don't know what happened, but that right there is why I don't have reverse. So frustrating, guys. This is a Freddie Brown valve body. Obviously, this has nothing to do with him or his company per se, but luckily, these gaskets are specialty gaskets. They have, I say specialty gaskets, they're a regular gasket, but they've got holes poked in them and stuff in certain spots. And that's all I can think of, is it blew out the gasket, and the transmission fluid that was meant to go into the reverse piston was just getting blown back into the pan. So, and you can see it's clearly completely blown out, but doesn't line up. Oddly enough, doesn't line up with anything, which I find strange. That it was able to blow in like that, but does not line up with anything. I can almost bet you that it was dumping through that hole right there. I don't know. I've got another one of these gaskets luckily laying around, so I'm gonna go get it. And I've been cleaning everything. This is full of mineral spirits, so I've been cleaning everything off, and I'll be putting it back together. All right, well, that's how I'm gonna hold the seal in. I drilled and tapped into the side. Don't worry, I didn't hit any oil passages or anything. These bolts are really short. I drilled and tapped, and you see they're tight, and that's gonna keep that seal from going anywhere. So we'll see what happens. I can show you that they don't interfere with the torque converter. Drop that down on there like that. Boom. All the way on. Spins. No rubbing. No scratches, no nothing. So. Alright, so I'm going to end this video off here. I have been chasing my tail with a miss. Finally narrowed it down to cylinder number 4. Was firing, but running cooler than all the other cylinders. And I adjust the valves, make sure the valves weren't hanging open, and make sure it wasn't valve train related. I started it up with this off to make sure it wasn't valve train related. I've got oil every freaking where. Finally, what I did was I took one of my extra spark plugs, stuck it in the, you can see I have all the wires pulled off, but I stuck it in the number 4 wire, laid it on the turbo. Spark was real weak. Pulled out number 3 and did the same thing. Spark was real strong. Boom. 2 different cylinders. If this thing would focus. 2 different cylinders. One of them was number 4, one of them was number 2. That would explain why my spark was weak. That would explain why it's been running like dog crap. Very frustrating because I've been chasing this down for a few days now, off video. And then transmission's got to come back out. It has all the gears, but I think when the transmission seal blew out, it messed it up and it's just not sealing. You can see a little bit of transmission fluid dripping out. So I got to pull the transmission back out, but I won't get that on video. I'll just do it and be done with it. But as you can see, it's back in. I'm just gonna order a whole new pump, I think, at this point. I'm tired of fighting the seal. I'm tired of fighting everything else. I'm just gonna order a new pump and be done with it. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy this video. Like and subscribe, and if you want a t-shirt, look down below in the description. We have our Facebook accounts and the Wheels Up Racing Facebook account, so you can message us. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. We're gonna get this thing back up and running and get it back to the track. And I'm shooting for that 9. I'm shooting very hard for that 9, but I gotta get the transmission right and I gotta keep it from breaking up. So I'm gonna order some new spark plug wires. If anybody has any suggestions for spark plug wires that I should order, put it down in the comments. I've been using Ford Racing spark plug wires for a long time, and spiderweb, and it's just progressively having more and more issues with them. So if you have any recommendations for spark plug wires, post it down in the comments, and I will catch you in the next one.